Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of JamBox Listens, or maybe just the JamBox. I don't know. I'm still playing around with names, but I'll come up with something soon. As always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And with that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors.
Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time.
All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. For those of you just tuning in for the first time, this is a solo segment that I put together where I listen to a small handful of tracks that have been sent in to me. I have a huge pool of them at the moment. Thank you, everybody who has sent one in. I promise I'm getting through them. But I tried to pick out a small handful, broke it up into chunks, and we're going to go through some experiences and just kind of talk about them. You get to listen to little 30-second clips, and I'll just share my thoughts. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. This first track's called No Smiles, featuring Jahdi by Silas One Wolf.
No smiles. It's a cold world. No warmth in these smiles. What I see from their mouths is still face. A cold case of them stuck in their old ways. No, let me retrace. Line by line, I gotta give it to you straight. So let me restate everything I'm about to say. Ready to separate the real from the fake. In order for us to elevate a pill on the slate. I mean, what does it mean to be honest? I don't really know what is honest. I just do my best to be better than the rest. In this contest, never lose the kindness. But don't mistake my kindness for blindness. Cause I see the moves that you're making in silence. Bird's eye view when I'm looking at your sliders. You can't hide this or attempt to deny this. I mean.
All right, we're back. And I'm just going to say, right from the start, right from the very beginning of the intro of this track, I immediately could tell this was going to be cool. I mean, I was so pulled in by the texture, the presence. It was moody, it was musical, and it takes its time. And then Silas comes in and is just killing it from the very first word. And one thing that I appreciate in particular about his delivery, his style, is that he doesn't wait to change his cadence. He gets into that right away, and while his flow stays consistent, it's got this really cool, like, low-key melodic structure to it that just makes the track breathe. It really, like, molds it to the beat in a really interesting way. And that means Jahdi had really big shoes to fill. And I mean, he nailed it. He came out the gate swinging. He matched the energy. He brought the heat. He was a very solid feature. Definitely a great decision to have on this track. But super cool. And guys, thank you so much for sending it in. But now let's go ahead and get on into it. This next track's called Cynical Trials by Jayme Fortune.
Life is hectic, used to think it'd fall into place with every milestone moments away. What I found was quite morbid, more than I can fathom for days, though my pastor spoke it in ways that would light up my brain. He never gave me more than I can handle, even though I balance it great. 40 feet from the gravel we paved, high up on a wire at a Cirque du Soleil. One leg about to give out, the other is raised. They say, get it, how you live it, is a litmus indicative of your battle for survival in the trenches. It's a war of indecision, the allure of an addiction.
All right, we're back. And that track was a cinematic adventure. I will say the beat wasn't super abstract, but it really didn't need to be, because Jayme just came in and decided to turn everything up to 11. And I mean, his delivery was almost tactile. Like it was forward, it was present, it was direct, but at the same time, it was inspirational. And having listened to most of his music and having gotten to talk to him on the show, I got to tell you, this is somebody you're going to want to watch out for, because right now you could tell he's going through the motions. He's figuring out the mechanics, and he is really developing his own style that is his own, but also a strong listen. Like, it's something you want to hear. And he's not far from it now. He's definitely moving right along. So, hey, man, thank you so much for sending it in. But let's go ahead and let's listen to some more music. Coming up next is Aspirin and Water by Kid Curry.
I think I need some aspirin and some water. Swallowed up my spit, but that shit only make it harder. Somebody said I took hold of the crown and started preaching. Who wanna meet they God, I'll send you up, you trying to reach them. Cock the 40.
All right, we're back. And what a wild track. I mean, it opens up with that super short vocal clip, followed by some real big horns, and then just boom. You're into the track. And from there, the narrative sets up real quick. Like, they do a great job of setting the scene, telling you what's happening, moving right through it. It's a really cool, like, concept song. And it sticks to this one descriptive realm so much that it just leaves all this room for him to bar out. And he most certainly does. It's a super solid track. Thank you so much for sending it in. But now let's go ahead. For this next one, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to move directions and bring you to a slightly different realm. So let's go ahead and get back into it. This next track's called byeee by Aunge.
When bad vibes come by, I shoo them. Shoes on, tied tight, not gonna loosen. I lost before, but no more losing. I got hurt, that's for sure, but I'm not bruising. I seek restitution, revolution, like good vibes only, it's no delusion. Call me unreliable, I'd say unpredictable, irresistible, kissable. You like me, I like you, that's reciprocal. But if you're toxic, I trash it like a receptacle. Bad vibes come by, I'm like
All right, and we're back. And this is an interesting one. Just up front, Aunge, I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong, but I'm giving it a go. Getting back to it, though, there are a lot of elements in this. There's a little bit going on. The beat is very driving, very consistent, especially with those like dreamy bell sounds up front. And then Aunge comes in very direct, very like almost like whimsically, but with some bite. And the lyrics are very forward. Everything is very, very precise. Everything has like this like forwardness, this directness, but this like intentionality. And then the hooks themselves are very musical. The whole track is just really engaging, and it's really cool. Thank you so much for sending it in. But now let's go ahead and get back into it. This next track is called Wisteria Flowers by FunkyFairy.
I'm stepping past fear into utter amazement. Wisteria flowers, I'm learning. True love has the power to heal. And you can't offer happiness unless you have it yourself. Have it yourself, you're made of stars.
All right, we're back. Now, I have to preface this by saying I did actually get to see FunkyFairy live before I heard any recorded music during High Gain Theory's performance at one of the recent showcases. So I was very curious to know what this was going to sound like. And I got to tell you, I was not disappointed. It was very cool. It's very smooth, very positive and inspiring as well. But it feels like it comes from a place, like it's deeper. It feels very thought out, very learned. But just there's something about it. There's something about the presence of the track that just kind of lulls you into the state of like comfortable. And it's really cool. I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sending it in. But now let's go ahead and get back into it. Coming up next is What If by Camille Tredoux.
What if I'm honest? I don't know how to walk the pain away. I'm still angry. You wrote me off. You act so tough and whisper words behind my back.
All right, we're back. Now, I got to give a quick shout out to Camille for being the reigning champion for most appearances on the show. So I was super excited when I saw she sent a track in. And of course, I was not disappointed. It's super solid. It's cool too. It's got this space to it. It feels massive, but it doesn't feel abrasive. And I love how the first half of the track just sets up for the second half in this really like melodic and sonically structured way that is just, it's really cool. It's really engaging, and it's a good full listen. But even further past that, you can tell this is one of those ones that's just going to blow the roof off of everything else live when it hits the ground. So definitely super solid track. Camille, thank you so much for sending it in. But now let's go ahead. We're going to switch it up one more time. And this next track is How to Feel Right Now, featuring Night Heron by Shawna Pear. All right, we're back. And this is my jam right here. I mean, synth-pop and pretty much everything surrounding will always have a special spot in my heart. And this track did everything right. It's got rises, it's got falls, it's got synth, it's got keys, pads, bells, bangs, booms, crashes. It's got this very pick up and go pace with this like perfect ebb and flow that just takes you on this journey that when it just leaves you feeling good the whole time. And at the very least, it's going to make you tapping your feet out in the real world. So super solid track. Definitely appreciate y'all sending it in. Thank you so much. But now let's go ahead and let's get back into it. Coming up next is Where To by Candy Cigarettes.
I know you know it. I see you thinking it's surely breaking the rest of us too. So what's it all for? A silly ruse where our pretty ghosts grew close enough to choose. I lay away.
All right, and we're back. Now, this track is a bit more moody, a bit more melancholic even, but it's really cool. It's really interesting. It builds in some really cool ways, because like the beginning is very spaced out, very sparse, all these like swirly sounds, and then within the track itself, like once everything gets going, it keeps building, but it builds to these like non-finish points, and then it just kind of becomes something else and goes there until it gets to the end where it just kind of deconstructs itself, and as it's dissolving, there's this lady questioning the ethers. But it's a really engaging track, and even though it feels very like reductive in moments, it's still very constructive, and it's just a good listen. It's a really cool track. Thank you so much for sending it in. But now let's go ahead and get back into it. I've got one more for you. This final track is Black Warm Tar by Midnight Morning.
Where you are, what you are is nothing, and I want a piece of it. Racing stir,
All right, we're back, and we are finishing up strong. This is a super rad jam. It's very rich, it's very dark, it's very explosive, and underneath all of that, it just rocks. It's got a great progression to it, and it's very engaging. And it's really interesting because it's very dense sounding. It's got this like thickness to it, but everything is still very articulate, very audible. So it was put together really well, and just the execution of the whole track is super solid. And it did come out as part of a EP called Faded Colors that y'all should definitely go check out if you haven't. It's super new. It just came out like a week ago at the time of this. So y'all should go check it out. I promise you're going to like it. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. As always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary, Ronald Records, and Portland Water. Thanks for keeping us hydrated. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been another exciting episode of JamBox Listens, and I'm Jimmy, signing off.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
jamming.